In this presentation of the perineum, we are going to see the urogenital triangle. Under the urogenital triangle, we are going to see the different layers of the urogenital triangle, each layers in detail, and superficial perineal pouch, boundaries of the superficial perineal pouch and its contents. We are going to see the urogenital triangle under the following headings: the different layers of the urogenital triangle and each layer in detail, and boundaries and contents of the superficial perineal pouch. Coming to the arrangement of the layers of the urogenital triangle, the urogenital triangle contains the following layers from superficial to deep or below upwards. The first layer is the skin. The next layer is the fatty layer of the superficial fascia. The third layer is the membranous layer of the superficial fascia or Colles fascia. The attachment of the Colles fascia in the diagram below is indicated by a red line. This Colles fascia is attached to the outer margin of the ischiopubic rami. The membranous layer of the superficial fascia is shown in these two diagrams. You can be able to appreciate the Colles fascia stretching across the ischiopubic rami. The attachment of the Colles fascia in female is shown on the left side. The attachment of the Colles fascia in male is shown on the right side. The next layer, that is the fourth layer, is the perineal membrane, otherwise called the inferior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm. The perineal membrane attachment is shown in the diagram below as a blue line. It is attached to the inner surface of the ischiopubic rami. Perineal membrane also stretches across the ischiopubic rami. In these two diagrams, you can be able to appreciate the perineal membrane stretching across the ischiopubic rami. The attachment of the perineal membrane in female is shown on the left side. The attachment of the perineal membrane in the male is shown on the right side. The last layer, that is the fifth layer, is the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm. In the diaphragm given below, you can be able to appreciate the attachment of the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm as a pink line. It is attached to the inner margin of the ischiopubic rami. The superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm also stretches across the ischiopubic rami. In these two diagrams, you can be able to appreciate the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm stretching across the ischiopubic rami. The attachment of the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm is in female is shown on the left side. The attachment of the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm in male is shown on the right side. If you carefully observe this diagrammatic representation of the layers of the urogenital triangle, there are two spaces here. There is a space between the Colles fascia and the perineal membrane that is called superficial perineal space or pouch. It contains blood vessels, nerve fibers, and the muscles. One more space between the perineal membrane and the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm. This space is called a deep perineal pouch or deep perineal space. This space also contains blood vessels, nerve fibers, and muscle in form of a sheet. The muscle in form of a sheet in the deep perineal pouch separates the anterior part of the pelvic cavity from the urogenital triangle. So, the muscle sheet in the deep perineal pouch, along with the fascia covering above, that is the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm, along with the fascia below, that is the perineal membrane, are collectively called urogenital diaphragm. Now we are going to see the layers of the urogenital diaphragm one by one. The first layer is the skin. In male, the skin presents a midline raphe, which is continuous with the midline raphe of the scrotum. In female, the skin presents a median cleft between the two labia minora called vestibule. The second layer is the fatty layer of the superficial fascia. This fascia is continuous with the subcutaneous tissue of the adjacent areas. Anteriorly, in males, the fatty layer of the superficial fascia of the perineum is continuous with the dartos muscle of the scrotum. Then it continues with the superficial fascia of the penis. Finally, continuous with the campus fascia of the anterior abdominal wall. In females, if you take the fatty layer of the superficial fascia, it is continuous with the subcutaneous tissue of the labia majora, then with the mons pubis, and finally becomes continuous with the campus fascia, that is the fatty layer of the superficial fascia of the anterior abdominal wall. Laterally, this fatty layer of the superficial fascia of the perineum is continuous with the superficial fascia of the thigh. Posteriorly, it is continuous with the ischiorectal pad of fat. Coming to the third layer of the urogenital triangle, that is the membranous layer of the superficial fascia, otherwise called Colles fascia. It is a strong sheet of fascia which stretches across the pubic arch. In this diagram, you can be able to appreciate the Colles fascia stretching across the pubic arch in females. If you take the attachment of this Colles fascia, on each side, it is attached to the lower margin of the ischiopubic ramus. In this diagram also, you can be able to appreciate the lateral attachment of this Colles fascia. If we trace anteriorly in males, this fascia is continuous with the dartos muscle of the scrotum, then with the deep fascia of the penis, and finally continuous with the scarpa's fascia of the anterior abdominal wall. If we trace the fascia in females, it is continuous with the deep fascia of the labia majora and glytoris, and then with the fascia scarpa of the anterior abdominal wall. Posteriorly, the posterior margin of this fascia becomes fuses with the posterior margin of the perineal membrane. The Colles fascia has two surfaces, upper and lower surfaces. The upper surface forms the lower boundary of the superficial perineal pouch. If you take the structures piercing the Colles fascia, they are the perineal branch of the posterior femoral cutaneous nerve in both sexes. In females, the vagina and the urethra pierces the Colles fascia. In the diagram on the left side, you can be able to appreciate the Colles fascia stretching across the pubic arch in female. You can be able to appreciate the urethral opening and the vaginal opening in the Colles fascia. Coming to the perineal membrane. Perineal membrane is a strong sheet of fascia extending across the pubic arch, which intervenes between the superficial and deep perineal pouches. It is roughly triangular in shape with the apex directed in front. In the diagram, you can able to appreciate the perineal membrane stretching across the ischiopubic rami, both in female and male. Coming to the attachment of the perineal membrane, on each side, it is attached to the inner surface of the ischiopubic rami. In front, that is anteriorly, it is thickened to form transverse perineal ligament and becomes continuous with the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm. In the diagram, you can able to appreciate the transverse perineal ligament. Behind, it is fixed to the perineal body in the midline and splits into two layers, upper and lower. If you take up the upper layer, it is continuous with the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm around the deep transverse perineal muscle. The lower layer becomes continuous with the posterior margin of the fascia collis around the superficial transverse perineal muscle. Then we will see the structures piercing the perineal membrane. Coming to the structures piercing the perineal membrane, they are different in male and female. First, we will take up the structures piercing the perineal membrane in male. Before seeing the structures piercing the perineal membrane, you should read the course of the pudendal nerve and the internal pudendal artery, their branches. Then only you can be able to understand the structures piercing the perineal membrane. Then, to some of the structures piercing the perineal membrane in male, at the base, that along the posterior margin, first is the posterior scrotal nerves. Second is the posterior scrotal vessels and transverse perineal artery. In some individual, instead of posterior scrotal vessels and transverse perineal artery itself pierces the perineal membrane. Then along the attached margin, near the apex, the structure piercing is the dorsal artery of penis. In the middle of the attached margin, the deep artery of the penis pierces the perineal membrane. Then in the midline, urethra pierces the perineal membrane. On each side of the urethra, the following structures pierces the perineal membrane. They are duct of bulbourethral gland, artery to bulb of penis, urethral artery. Lastly, muscular branches to the muscles of the superficial perineal pouch pierces the perineal membrane. Coming to the structures piercing the perineal membrane in female. The following structures pierces the perineal membrane along its base. That means along the posterior free margin. First one is the posterior labial nerves. Second is the posterior labial vessels. Third is the transverse perineal artery. The second and third, that means posterior labial vessels, transverse perineal artery are the branches of the perineal artery. Perineal artery, while lies in the anterior part of the pudendal canal, divides into posterior labial vessels and the transverse perineal artery. These posterior labial vessels and the transverse perineal artery in turn pierces the perineal membrane along its base, comes to the superficial perineal pouch. This is the usual course. Rarely, in some of the individuals, the perineal artery itself pierces the superficial perineal pouch along its base, then comes to the superficial perineal pouch, then ends by dividing into posterior labial vessels and the transverse perineal artery. Structures piercing the perineal membrane at its attached margin. Near the apex, dorsal artery of clitoris. In the middle of the attached margin, deep artery of clitoris. Coming to the structure spacing the perineal membrane in the midline, urethra. Behind the urethra, vagina. On either side of the urethra, urethral artery. On either side of the vagina, artery to bulb of the vestibule. Then lastly, muscular branches to the muscles of the superficial perineal pouch. These muscular branches initially lie in the deep perineal pouch, pierces the perineal membrane, comes to the superficial perineal pouch, supplies the muscles of the superficial perineal pouch. Coming to the last layer of the urogenital triangle, that is the superior fascia of urogenital diaphragm. It is a thin fascia stretches across the pubic arch, which covers the upper surface of the urogenital diaphragm. If we take the attachment of this fascia, on each side it is attached to the upper margin of the ischiopubic ramus. In the diagram, you can able to appreciate the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm, both in female and male. In front and behind, the fascia blends with the anterior and posterior margins of the perineal membrane, respectively. In the midline, this fascia is reflected by the side of the urethra in male, urethra and vagina in females, and is convex with the inferior fascia of the pelvic diaphragm. Coming to the superficial perineal pouch or superficial perineal space. By definition, it is an interfacial space stretching across the pubic arch between the perineal membrane and Colles fascia in the urogenital triangle of the perineum. If we carefully observe this diagrammatic representation of the three layers of the urogenital triangle, you can able to appreciate the Colles fascia, perineal membrane, and the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm. So there is a space between the Colles fascia and the perineal membrane. That space is called a superficial perineal pouch or space. If we take the boundaries of this superficial perineal pouch above, otherwise called the roof of the perineal pouch, it is formed by the lower surface of the perineal membrane. Below, that means the floor is formed by the fascia of Colles, that is the membranous layer of the superficial fascia of the perineum. On each side, the space is bounded by the inner surface of the ischiopubic ramus. In front, the pouch is open. In male, the pouch is continuous with the superficial inguinal space after passing deep to dartas muscle and deep fascia of the penis. In females, the pouch is continuous with the superficial inguinal space after passing deep to the labia majora and deep fascia of glitoris. Posteriorly, the pouch is closed by the fusion of posterior borders of perineal membrane and Colles fascia. So the space is closed in all sides except in front. Coming to the contents of the superficial perineal pouch, we are going to see the contents under the following headings: genitalia, tubes, glands, muscles, nerves, and arteries. First, we will take up the genitalia. The root of the penis lie in the superficial perineal pouch in male. The root of the penis consists of bulb of the penis and crura of the penis. In the diagram, you can be able to appreciate the perineal membrane stretching across the ischiopubic rami. So we are in the superficial perineal pouch. You can be able to appreciate the bulb of the penis in the midline. The crura of the penis is attached to the ischiopubic rami. The root of the glitoris lie in superficial perineal pouch in female. The root of the glitoris consists of bulb of the vestibule and crura of the glitoris. In the diagram, you can able to appreciate the bulb of the vestibule on either side of the urethral and vaginal orifice. The crura of the glitoris is attached to the ischiopubic rami. Coming to the tubes, urethra that lies within the bulb of the penis lie in the superficial perineal pouch in male. In the diagram, you can able to appreciate urethra within the bulb of the penis in the midline. In female, both urethra and vagina lie in the superficial perineal pouch. In the diagram, you can able to appreciate the urethral opening behind the glitoris, vaginal opening behind the urethral opening. Coming to the glands, the ducts of bulbourethral glands lie in superficial perineal pouch in male. In the diagram, you can able to appreciate the bulbourethral glands and its duct. Although the bulbourethral gland lie in the deep perineal pouch, it is shown in the diagram. So duct only lies in the superficial perineal pouch in male. In female, both greater vestibular glands and their ducts lie in superficial perineal pouch. In the diagram, you can able to appreciate the greater vestibular gland partially overlapped by the bulb of the vestibule. Duct of the greater vestibular gland, you can able to appreciate in the diagram. Coming to the muscles as a content, in male and female, the muscles are same. They are bulbospongiosus, ischiocavernosus, superficial transverse perineal muscle. Coming to the nerves as a content, the following nerves are present in male. Posterior scrotal nerves, muscular branches from perineal nerve to muscles of superficial perineal pouch. Perineal branch of posterior femoral cutaneous nerve of thigh. At this stage, you can't able to understand the nerves as a content of the superficial perineal pouch. Read the perineal nerve, course, relations and their branches. Then read the nerves as a content of the superficial perineal pouch. You very well understand. Coming to the nerves as a content in female, the following nerves are present. Posterior labial nerves, muscular branches from perineal nerve to muscles of superficial perineal pouch, perineal branch of posterior femoral cutaneous nerve of thigh. Coming to the arteries as a last content of the superficial perineal pouch, the following arteries are present in superficial perineal pouch in male. Terminal branches of perineal artery, they are posterior scrotal arteries and transverse perineal artery. Then artery to bulb of penis, urethral artery, deep artery of penis, dorsal artery of penis. All these arteries are shown in the diagram given below. But at this stage, you can't able to understand the arteries as a content in the superficial perineal pouch. Read the course of the internal pudendal artery, relations and the branches. Then study the arteries as a content in superficial perineal pouch. You can able to understand very well. Coming to the arteries present in the superficial perineal pouch in female, the following arteries are present. Terminal branches of perineal artery, they are posterior labial arteries and transverse perineal artery. Then artery to bulb of vestibule, urethral artery, deep artery of glitoris, dorsal artery of glitoris. Once again, I am stressing that read the course of the internal pudendal artery, relations, branches, then study the arteries as a content of the superficial perineal pouch. Coming to the muscles of the superficial perineal pouch, we are going to see the muscles one by one. First, we will see the superficial transverse perineal muscle. It is 2 in numbers, 1 on each side. Origin. It originates from the medial aspect of the ischial tuberosity. In this diagram, both in male and females, you can able to appreciate the superficial transverse perineal muscle originating from the medial aspect of the ischial tuberosity. Coming to the insertion, the fibers runs medially and gets inserted into the perineal body, where its fibers decussate with the fibers of the opposite side. Also, some of the fibers inserted into the ipsilateral bulbospongiosus and sphincter ani externus. If you carefully observe, you can able to appreciate the insertion of the muscle into the perineal body. It is supplied by a muscular branch of the perineal nerve. Action of this muscle, it fixes the perineal body. The next muscle is the ischiocavernosus. It is also two in numbers, one on each side. This muscle covers the crus penis or crus glitoris. It is smaller in females. If we take up the origin of this muscle, it arises from the medial surface of the ischial tuberosity. Also from the medial surface of the ischial ramus on each side of the crus penis or glitoris. Some of the fibers also originates from the posterior part of the perineal membrane. If we take the insertion, these fibers gets inserted by an aponeurosis into the sides and the under surface of the anterior part of the crus. Nerve supply by means of muscular branch of perineal nerve. Action of this muscle compresses the cavernous spaces of the crura and impedes the venous return and thereby maintains the erection of penis or glitoris. Coming to the last muscle of the superficial perineal pouch, that is the bulbospongiosus. This muscle is two in numbers, one on each side. We are going to see this bulbospongiosus in males and females separately. First, we will take up the muscle in males. It covers the bulb of penis and two symmetrical halves are united by a median fibrous raphe. In this diagram, you can able to appreciate the muscle. It covers the bulb of the penis in the midline. In the midline of the muscle, you can able to appreciate the median fibrous raphe. Origin. This muscle originates from the perineal body and median fibrous raphe. Insertion. The muscle bulbospongiosus is divided into three sets of fibers: posterior, middle, and anterior fibers. The posterior fibers. It embraces the posterior end of the bulb and gets inserted into the perineal membrane. If we take up the middle fibers, it encircles the bulb and corpus spongiosum. Inserted by an aponeurosis on the dorsal aspect of the bulb and corpus spongiosum, where they meet with fibers of the opposite side. The anteriormost fibers. These fibers cover the dorsal surface of the corpora cavernosa. These fibers gets inserted into the raphe on the dorsal surface of the penis. These fibers lie superficial to deep dorsal vein of the penis. Nerve supply by means of muscular branch of perineal nerve. Action of this muscle, it helps in ejaculation of the semen by contracting repeatedly. It also helps to expel last drops of urine from urethra. The middle fibers assist in erection of the corpus spongiosum of penis by compressing the bulb. The anterior fibers help in erection by compressing the deep dorsal vein of penis. If we take up the bulbospongiosus muscle in females, it covers the bulb of the vestibule and the greater vestibular gland. These two muscles are separated by vaginal and urethral orifices. In this diagram, you can be able to appreciate on either side of the urethral and vaginal orifice the bulbospongiosus muscle. It overlaps the greater vestibular glands. This muscle originates from the perineal body. Insertion. This muscle gets inserted partly into perineal membrane and bulb of the vestibule. Some of the fibers cover the dorsal aspect of the corpora cavernosa of Glitoris, where they end in aponeurosis. These fibers lie superficial to deep dorsal vein of Glitoris. Nerve supply by means of muscular branch of perineal nerve. Coming to the action of this muscle, it constricts vaginal orifice. This muscle helps in expression of secretions from the greater vestibular glands. Lastly, this muscle assists in erection of Glitoris by compressing the deep dorsal vein of Glitoris. In this presentation, we have seen the different layers of the urogenital diaphragm, each layer in detail, and boundaries and contents of the superficial perineal pouch. In the next presentation, we will see the deep perineal pouch in detail, pudendal canal and the contents of the pudendal canal in detail, urogenital diaphragm.